Hi there, Christian here. Doing a long overdue thread that started that Ron Haggerty started a couple of weeks ago. He was asking 8 questions about 1988. Really good questions, really cool. Make me go digging in my 1988 collection. That I realized that I don't have many albums or records or CDs or cassettes from that year in particular. A great year in hard rock, heavy metal music. Okay, without further ado, let's go with question number one. A debut album from 1988. I have this one, a really good one from New York hard rockers, Living Color. Their album Vivid. You all know this one. It's a really good one with the big song Cult of Personality. But there are also another good songs like Funny Vibe, Open Letter to a Landlord, and Love Years Its Ugly Head, and a cool cover of the Talking Heads. A really good one. This is an OG from that that year of release. Really good one. So the next one is a final album. Um, this one is a band from Argentina. The name of the band is Sumo, just like the martial art or martial. I think it's a martial art from Japan, or that style of activity where the two guys are fighting like Greco-Roman fights. But this is an album from 1988. Yes, it's as we tell you, a band named Sumo. It's from Argentina. Then they had a very good albums in the early 80s. It was led by a singer from Italy, Luca Prodan. Then he went from Italy to Argentina, escaping from his drug addiction to heroin. He thought that in Argentina he was going to be safer and he would have a normal life. But unfortunately, he had some relapses. He fell over. He fell again in drug use and heavy heroin addiction, and he ended up dying in 1988 after the release of this album. So the band finally they broke up in '88. They released a posthumous album in 1989, and then they end up splitting in two bands, Las Pelotas and Divididos. But this is a great album if you like early punk with a lot of new wave flavors, some ska, some rock, some hard rock. This is a great band. If you want to check them out, the name of the band again is Sumo, and the album is Llegando los Monos. So, final album from 1988. Next, a favorite in the band catalog. This one, for me, without question, is this is a double set of Halloween, and one of my favorite albums of the band is Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2. There it is. As you can see, there is Keeper 1 and Keeper 2 and some bonus tracks. You can see the inside, and there is Keeper 2. Awesome album with some great songs like Eagle Fly Free, Rise and Fall, Dr. Steen, March of Time, and of course I Went Out. It was a huge, I don't know if it was a huge hit, but they had a cool, very cool video on MTV that it was played, I think, constantly in the Headbangers Ball back in the day. So this is one of my favorite albums from 1988, or of a favorite band, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 by Halloween. Next, a band that was never the same. I think we'll agree that this band was never the same after this album, because the album that came after this one made the band completely change from this album, and they were never the same. They never look back again as the way they used to be. And the band is Metallica and the 1988 album And Justice for All. After this one came the mega hit Black, the self-titled Metallica, also known as the Black Album. But the band never returned to this sound. They tried to do something with the last two albums, but I think they will never be the same again. So a band that definitely changed after this album, after 1988, to me it's Metallica with their album And Justice for All. Next we have an underrated album. This is a band that you don't see many times here in the BC, maybe because the type of music it's kind of weird. I don't know, not very commercial, but I think they're very good. They had their first album was quite a surprise in their hard rock, in the metal community, because of their unique sound and the unique use of some kind of instrument that are not very common in the rock music scene. This is the album that came after that. Then the band is Apocalyptica, and the album is it's Inquisition Symphony. This is the album that came after Apocalyptica plays Metallica by four cellos. This also have some. This album also have some covers from Metallica, but for the first time they include some original tracks, some original songs that were written by the band, and in this time they include some covers from another bands like Pantera, Sepultura, and Faith No More. So if you want to check Apocalyptica second album, Inquisition Symphony, it's a really good one, and I think it's an underrated album from that year, and from a quite underrated band, because you don't get to see them very much. They're quite unique in the sound and in the style of playing the music. So there it is. Next, an overrated album. For this, I'm going to pick up from the Scorpions, their album Crazy World. I think this is an overrated album mainly because of one song, and it is Wind of Change. I think that song is quite not that good. It's the usual ballad that the Scorpions write, and they do very good in many albums. They always put a ballad in the albums, but this one had the thing that it came, or it was written during the crumble of the Berlin Wall, when finally the two Germanys were reunited. So they did this song, and I think it launched the sales of this album and put it very high in the ranking of sales. But I think it's overrated mainly because of that song. It has another good songs like Tease Me, Please Me, and Restless Night. Crazy World is also a good song, but I think in in the in the in the catalog, in the Scorpions catalog, it's not a good one, but it gets many good reviews or things, mainly because of Wind of Change. Next, disappointed album. I think you will agree with me that this artist when he left his former band had a huge success with a great album, with a great lineup, a great art cover, and he was designated to be even bigger. But then he came with this album that it was a little bit softer, the production it was not so good. He had the same lineup, the same awesome musicians with him, but this is not a good one. And it is David Lee Roth Skyscraper. Many, I think, he was trying to get on board what was going on with the sound. He tried to light up his approach to the music. He included many keyboards in this one, and even the guitar tone of Steve Vai was a little bit different than the one he had on Eat Them and Smile. That was an awesome album, but this one not so good at least in my opinion. So there it is, David Lee Roth, Skyscraper. And finally, a favorite album. This is easy. This is my favorite band. This is my favorite album. I think this is one of the best things that they have ever put or released in their whole catalog, in their whole career. I think it was the top of the ever growing career, starting in the early 80s until 1988 when they reached and they did this one. Yes, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I think it's the best. Close to, I think, is Peace of Mind, but I think this one is a little bit better than that one. No fillers, just thrillers. Awesome album. There it is. Favorite song in this album, all of them, but personally, Infinite Dreams. That's an awesome song. And you can see the band, you can hear the band in the shooting in all directions. Great performance of the band, great songwriting, and Bruce Dickinson is in top form singing. Maybe the best he has ever done. So there it is. That was my favorite album from that year. So that's it. Those are the 8 questions that Ron was asking us to answer. Hope you like them. I will leave a link below to Ron's channel if you don't know it. I think we all know him very well. So that's it. Without further ado, this is Christian saying goodbye. Till next time, see ya.